What's going on, Magic? Good to see you here. If you got questions, put them in the comments section. If you want to wait a little bit longer, let some more people in here. You got comments, you got questions? Put them in the comments section. What's going on? What's going on? It's been a while since I played this song. This should be my theme song, right? I'm all about it. My turn is off. I can find it. What's going on, my beautiful people? It's a good song, right? Magic, where you from? Let me know where you're from. We're going to get into it tonight. I've got a session planned for you guys. First things first, always I'm paying attention to the comment section, and I'm going to continue to give back to the community. Algeria, wow, that's pretty cool. I'm going to continue to give back to the community with free coaching here on these live sessions. And hopefully you can take away something from these that, you know, was beneficial for you. If it's going to help you heal, I'm here for it because I'm here to serve you guys. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Thumbs up. Thumbs up if you can hear me. So, looking for my notes here. I actually I did a video last year called Thank You Rebound. And the reason I made that video, and I put that link in the description. If you guys are watching the replay, I put that link in the description. I did a video called Thank You Rebound. And I talked about all the reasons why the rebound has actually helped you as a person, and even to move on. Because essentially what they did for you was they revealed the character of the person that you were with. I would much rather, and I know it may be tough for you guys to hear this if you guys are coming out of long marriage, because I've coached so many different people that's coming out of marriages where the husband has left for the secretary or the wife has left for the best friend. So I understand that it's really hard to thank that person for, taking someone that you were with and someone that you were committed to. But the purpose of that video was to just get you to see things from a different lens, right? Because if you think about a lot of these celebrities, even these celebrities that are getting up there in age and they've been married, and all of a sudden that person leaves them for someone younger, someone more attractive, never took time alone. They just completely broke the thing off with them and devastated them. So that's essentially the people I'm talking to. I understand why that's a really hard thing to do, to thank the person that took someone that you essentially felt like were your best friend. So if you can't hear me, please let me know. Thumbs up. Let me know if you can hear me. Someone just text me. I'm trying to see if I can actually be heard on this live feed. Because last time, past couple of times, it's been some really difficult issues with my microphone. Hi, Coach. Belgium here. What's up, Belgium? Got Belgium. We got Algeria. Do most rebounds last if they have too much going on? Define too much going on. Monkey Branch wasn't even mad when I found out. Just glad it all finally made sense. And that's another thing too, where you may be with someone and all of a sudden they start distancing themselves and you're looking up stuff like, oh man, they must be an avoidant. And then you come to find out they actually weren't avoidant. And I actually put that in my notes too. When people come to my videos, they talk about whenever they book a session, they're like dead set on this person was an avoidant. And I have to be the person that's like, I really appreciate you supporting the avoidant and attachment style content. But in this case, it seemed like they may be looking more avoidant because they were actually checking out. They actually had more time that they were spending with someone else and they were emotionally invested in another person. So they may look avoidant because they were hiding things. They didn't want to share things with you because they probably couldn't keep their story straight. So I've got a couple comments here that I thought were great. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Um, so go ahead and check. I linked that thank you rebound video in the description. If you guys are watching the replay, if you guys are coming in, this session is going to be talking about how to stop yourself from obsessing over the rebound partner. And that's really difficult to do, especially when you have social media. You have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have Snapchat. Even if you know that your person's in a relationship with someone else and they just left you, right? It's hard for you not to check that snap score and feel some type of way about it. Like you just see their snap score rising and you're like, I know they're talking to that other person. And remember the old Snapchat when Snapchat used to actually show you who that other person was, who people were talking to. It used to kind of snitch on you back in the day, but it doesn't do that anymore. I think it was a lot of complaints about, look, this might be a violation of privacy. You just can't keep. Facebook used to do that too, if you guys remember, where you used to have a little thing. I might be dating myself because I used Facebook when you actually did an email from actual college to use it, but on Facebook, they had this little feed that showed you who people on your friends list were adding and what they were liking, and that was definitely causing some issues in relationships. But I digress on that one. So yeah, you feel some type of way about you know them adding someone on Instagram or them posting those people on their stories. It's hard to just be able to accept that, especially when you thought you had a future with someone. And it finally made sense. But you're thinking, wait a minute, is it me? Like, are they just losing attraction for me, or what's going on? And then you find out that there's someone else in the picture, and there's been someone else in the picture for a while. So you're confused. All right, so rebounds fail 99% of the time. Well, 99, I don't know. All right, I'm gonna be honest, right? Because that's my job. I have to be honest with you guys. It doesn't feel that much, and not anymore. No, I think it might be a little bit less of a failure from now. Um, and it also depends on the stage of life. If someone is in a relationship in their early 20s and they end up getting into another rebound, the odds of that failing is probably high. But when it's a situation where a person is in a different stage of their life, they've had kids, they've had this going on, they just weren't really happy in their marriage, that relationship might work out. It just might. That relationship might go the distance. But I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you whether they are or not. But it's very optimistic to think that it's going to fail 99% of the time. But also the question here is, why would you want it to fail? I'm gonna get down to that. If anything, you want to let karma do its work. You want to let karma step into the picture and you don't have anything to do with it. You want to just step back, remove yourself, and say, hey, look, I wish you the best. I'm trying to sow some good seeds for myself. And I want my karma to come back and be actually fruitful, and not negative. My ex got right into a rebound relationship. We only been broken up for 2 months. That is the hardest. How long are you guys together? Okay, so I got some tips here, right? First, let karma do its work, like I just talked about before. Second, stop checking their social medias. And I get it. one day at a time. Whenever I'm coaching someone and they're just really triggered and they're checking their social media pretty much every time they pick up their cell phone, I would say, all right, I'm not going to. Well, I worked in the recovery community for a long time, 2 years. She was my fiance. I'm gonna get to that, Jay. I worked in a community, a recovery center for a while, a few years actually. And if you guys are familiar with the recovery community, their slogan is pretty much one day at a time. And so when someone's trying to break that love addiction, because essentially what it is, if it's not a codependency or a trauma bond, it's essentially a love addiction. So I tell them, look, if you check their social media 80 times a day, scale it back to 40. It may be 1 week you do, check 5 times a day, and then scale it back to 2 times a day. Because if you just go cold turkey, honestly, I think it's going to do more harm than good. But dosing yourself is important, right? Dosing yourself is important, because it's really hard, and then you end up, because here's what I see happen. Someone will say, "All right, I'm going cold turkey." Next thing you know, they have too many to drink. They're calling a person. They're talking about, "I miss you. I love you." And I'm like, well, it's because you went extreme with it and you weren't really ready for that level of radio silence. So, but when it is that rebound relationship, it's important that you do not interfere with what the other person has going on, because most of the time you're just going to push them right into that other person's arms. You're going to be you're going to be the topic of their conversations. Depends on how disrespectful the person is or how annoyed they are with you. And all right, I'm gonna get to that one right now. So this is actually interesting. Um, this lady, she wrote, one of my subscribers, she wrote on my channel, 9 years married, 19 years together. I left him September 2019, filed for divorce. We reconciled January 2020. I found out all kinds of things about his character and the things he did during our separation. COVID hit. I felt stuck, and it seemed the world was going crazy. Nothing seemed normal. I stayed for 2 years after reconciliation. Worst mistake ever. I had zero trust after finding out the rebound. He rebounded after I left with 2 women. I didn't believe anything he said. He began to realize, he began to really despise him. I began to really despise him. I had zero respect for him. Fast forward to 2022. I left for the final time and will never reunite. He rebounded again right before I left. I think the worst part is he doesn't realize the emotional damage he's caused. He can't see behind his own needs, beyond his own needs. I feel bad for him because he's exhibiting serious mental illness traits. Comment in the comment section below if you think this is an accurate kind of analysis. Obviously, you've been with someone for 19 years. You would start to pick up on some type of mental health issues, right? And this is actually leading to my second one. My ex started messing around with his coworker, monkey wrenched into a situationship with her. He's only known her for a few months. When I broke up with him, because of the cheating, his pushing me away, his attention and affection, he was ghosting me and was essentially treating me like I was annoying. How many times have you guys experienced this? So if you just got a relationship with someone, or if it's been some time in the past and they started to really get annoyed by you, it's probably because they felt guilty, right? You don't, unless you are cluster B personality and you can't really feel that empathy for someone else, they probably felt guilty and they just wanted that person to go away, right? And I think that is some sort of, I'm not going to speak on that, all right? I'm going to hold my thoughts on that one. But it's definitely not a healthy thing to do. If someone was with someone for 19 years, I mean, I would be thinking a bunch of different things. I would be thinking, all right, there's some type of crisis going on. How healthy was that relationship? Was there something that the person missed? Had the person been telling them for a while now that, hey, I'm not happy? This isn't a dynamic I want to be in. And I've coached multiple people that were in this exact same situation, and they felt like they just could not get over that person because of the way that that person left. And this is the other tip about how to stop obsessing over someone. Try not to ruminate on what they said at the end of the breakup. Only focus on the facts, because most of the time they're just making up reasons as to why they don't want to be in a relationship anymore so they can feel better about the decision that they just made. How many times have, if you guys are watching this on the replay, how many times have you gone through a breakup, and during the breakup, that person just came up with all these different reasons as to why they couldn't be in a relationship with you anymore, or why they had their doubts? Where, uh, example, this one lady was with a guy for 10 years. And when he decided to leave, he started to talk about all the things that happened year one of the relationship, and kind of use that as the reason why he didn't want to be with her anymore. And saying, I told you, year two, I didn't really want anything serious. You kind of forced me into this. You changed over the years, and that's the thing that people really ruminate about, um, in the end of the relationship. Quite frankly, that's a lot of the reasons why people reach out to me, just to get clarity on if what the person was actually saying was accurate, or if they were just in their own head about it. So try not to ruminate on that, because for the most part, um, they feel bad about breaking your heart, and or sometimes, let's be honest. And I'm not gonna act like cluster B personalities don't exist. They could be cluster B, but I don't diagnose. Greg, 15 years, she monkey branched to a coworker while my mom was dying of cancer. After the funeral, claimed to live with her parents. She went living with him for months now, still keeping it a secret. So, Greg, I guess my question for you is, how is this helping your mental health? One, how are you finding out about what she's still doing? And two, how is this helping your mental health? People change. We anxious also trigger avoidance, making each other worse, sometimes doing stress. It's that's the dance, right? That's the push and the pull. I know people, I've coached people who I kind of identified as being secure right out the gate, but they got into a relationship with someone that was more of an avoidant, and it pulled out that anxiousness in them. Because you have two main attachments, two operating, two that are in the driver's seat. And usually when conflict arises, that second one gets activated. The insecure one gets activated. Any more questions? As always, I'm keeping these short, keeping them live for you, and I appreciate you guys. So tonight, cool, we had Algeria in here. We had Belgium in here. It must be, what time is it there? It's 8:30 at night here. I would actually have one of my longtime subscribers. She's a little bummed out that she can't keep up, because I usually do these live sessions at night, and she's in the UK. So UK is probably 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So what time is it there? You guys got any more questions? Because I'm just gonna end this and let you guys enjoy your night. All right, that's it. You guys already know the deal. Once you go be love, you'll never have to find it. Namaste. Peace.